I was driving the other day when I saw it. At first, you think it's an office building. Then you realize, nope, it's a vending machine for cars. This is Carvana. At its peak, millions of people actually bought their cars this way. On the surface, it looked like the future of car buying. But behind that glass tower, billions of dollars, millions of customers, and one of the fastest crashes any recent company has seen. And then, just 3 years later, Carvana's stock rebounded around 1,000%. It seriously makes me wonder, how did a business that promised to replace the dealership nearly drive itself off of a cliff? And more importantly, how did it come back?
This is my 2012 Toyota Corolla, and man, I love it, but I hated buying it.
Hours in a dealership, fake flipping brochures while the salesperson kept vanishing to talk to his manager, or worse, going full on De Niro.
Anyway, let's get serious. You want to buy this car, what? Yay or nay?
Dramatic? Sure. Unrealistic? Only kinda. In 2016, a survey found that 87% of Americans disliked some aspect of the dealership experience. Millennials, especially. More than half said they'd rather clean their homes than buy a car in person. Turns out, no one wanted to deal with their local De Niro. But the industry as a whole wasn't ready to support that change. But Carvana was, and became the poster child for the alternative. Other sites existed, but Carvana was the first to make the whole process simple. Financing, paperwork, and delivery all online. No dealership required. Unlike the other dealers where you could start the process online, but needed to go down to a dealership to finish the purchase. By 2020, Carvana had sold over 244,000 cars and generated $5.5 billion in revenue, according to its annual report. Then the pandemic hit. Online car buying went mainstream, baby. In 2021, Carvana sold 425,000 cars and tripled revenue to $12.8 billion. By August 13th of that year, its stock price per share had soared past Ford's. Even if Ford's total company value remained larger, that's still pretty gosh darn impressive. I mean, come on. If you don't think that's impressive, you're a hater. By 2022, only about 1 in 4 buyers under 40 purchased from a dealership. Carvana gave people exactly what the young people, hoping to avoid the showroom, wanted: a way around the dealership. Much of America loved it. And as the CEO later put it, for the first time in our life, from mid-2020 to the end of 2021, we were a company that everyone thought positive things about. I don't think that brought out the best in us. Instead of catching his breath, it doubled down. Let me explain. Carvana celebrated its success by going full steam ahead, spending $2.2 billion to buy ADESA, one of the biggest car auction networks in the country, and building more of those vending machines. To keep its website and those towers stocked, Carvana built its business on paying top dollar for used cars. It goes like this. Used car sellers usually shop around. If CarMax offers you $8,000 for your car and Carvana offers you $9,000 for your car, chances are you're gonna pick Carvana. By bidding higher than the traditional wholesale market value, Carvana became the most attractive buyer. Every single time it overpaid, it won the car. The payoff was inventory. Fast, steady, and growing. But that strategy only worked as long as demand kept climbing. Carvana was betting the pandemic boom would last forever. Forever? Forever, ever? Yeah, but the same rocket fuel that launched Carvana turned toxic almost overnight. As the market cooled, Carvana was stuck with overpriced inventory. Used car prices crashed 14.9% in 2022, and in just one quarter, Carvana lost $806 million, nearly 6 times more than the same quarter in 2021. Things didn't get better from there. In May 2022, workers were laid off by email. More were cut later that year. But Carvana's problems went deeper than finances or layoffs. The company had scaled so quickly, it didn't keep up with the most boring but most essential part of the car business: paperwork.
They made it so fun, but then a month after, it was like a nightmare.
The temporary tags Carvana provided expired, and she says she was unable to register her car.
We've been contacted by over 700 people with some variation of this experience.
Titles, registrations, the boring DMV stuff no one wants to deal with. Carvana's system buckled, and some customers were driving cars they technically didn't own. Illinois regulators went as far as suspending Carvana's dealer license in 2022. Pennsylvania and Michigan temporarily blocked them from handling registrations at all. This all led to the skid off the cliff. By late December 2022, shares of Carvana stock had collapsed to $3.72, a 99% drop from its peak. The wheels had come off and Carvana needed to acknowledge this crisis, but it wasn't ready to tap out. If you're wondering how companies end up in messes like this, that's exactly the kind of story we cover every single day in The Hustle, our business and tech newsletter. We don't just give you the news you need to know. We spotlight the bold bets, the odd turns, and the underdog stories most outlets just skip right over. Let me put it this way. It's business news for people who usually hate business news. So if you're into this ride, the rise, the fall, and the clawback, and want more stories just like this every single day, subscribe to our newsletter. Click the link down in the description. Now back to Carvana, because the turnaround was about to begin.
With a need to refocus, it went into survival mode. The first move was brutal.
The Wall Street Journal reported that by early 2023, the terminations didn't stop. They just got quieter. People vanished, hours shrank, jobs froze. Entire vending machine projects were paused. Only a year after its debut Super Bowl ad in 2022, the company chose not to run a follow-up. By stripping everything down, cutting the shine, and just trying to keep the engine running, Carvana carved out about $1 billion in costs. Then came the lifeline. In the summer of 2023, Carvana struck a deal with Apollo, PIMCO, and other bondholders. Billions of dollars in debt were restructured. Maturities pushed years into the future. Some debt had even been converted into equity. A banker who helped negotiate the deal called it the most successful bond exchange ever. With breathing room, Carvana reinvented its playbook on how it sold cars. For years, the model was simple: chase growth at all costs. More cars, more markets, more vending machines. But that playbook collapsed under high interest rates. So Carvana pivoted and focused on margins, making more money on each car instead of chasing raw volume. By 2023, that shift helped the company achieve positive unit economics. And by mid-2023, the results were showing. Leaner operations, slimmer spending, actual profit per vehicle. Then the market itself started to turn. After a nearly 15% crash in 2022, used car prices finally stabilized. By late 2024, they began to level off. It wasn't much, but for the first time in years, car prices weren't so volatile. That pause was crucial. It meant dealers could price inventory without worrying about it losing value overnight. The cuts, the debt deal, the strategy shift, and the market tailwind finally gave Carvana what it hadn't had in years: a chance to rebuild with a real runway into 2024 and 2025. And that's when the story of a near-dead company started to turn. Carvana survived long enough for the storm to calm. Carvana posted its first full year of net income in 2023 and continued its profitability in 2024. Analysts issued price targets as high as $500. Carvana's stock has almost doubled in 2025, hitting a record high of $413 before settling down around $390 as of September 17th.
Carvana's story isn't just about a new way to buy and sell new cars or its novel car vending machines. It's about a company that flew high, crashed hard, and clawed its way back by cutting deep and getting disciplined. Carvana didn't win by scaling faster. It won by slowing down. So the next time you see one of those glass towers off in the horizon, remember, it doesn't matter if you're a billion-dollar brand or a scrappy startup. The rules of survival are the exact same. If you like this story, you'll definitely want to check out another epic comeback. Spirit Airlines went from being the most hated airline in America to being ranked #1. As always, be sure to subscribe to the Hustle newsletter for more stories just like this. Wait. You guys thought I was going to drive my seatbelt on it? Come on. Safety first, people.